last week. You were there last Saturday when things did turn violent. Would you describe today as violent in any way? Would you call these protesters rioters?
In no way, shape, or form, Stephanie. These are peaceful protesters. Guys, can I see what your sign says? We're live on MSNBC. Immigrants, Palestinians, resistance are not the enemy. Don't let the ruling class tell you who the enemies are. Libertad y justicia para todos, for everybody. Liberty and justice for all. Liberty and justice for all. How's it feel to be out here over the 101 with all these people honking in support of you guys?
It feels good to know. I mean, there's no reason for all of this. I mean, it's unlawful. We can't have a president who's a fucking felon, honestly. I mean, these are people who have been here. They provide for us not just labor, but they're human beings. They deserve rights.
Thank you so much. What's your name?
Leilani.
How about you?
Noemi.
I'm Jacob. It's nice to meet you guys. Thank you very much. Listen, there's some salty language out here, Steph, but feelings are running high and they're running hot. But I'll tell you one thing right now. This is a peaceful protest if I have ever seen one. This is where, some of those troublemakers were over the course of the last week or so, stopping traffic on the freeway, clashing with the riot police from the California Highway Patrol down there. That is not the scene right now. That is not what is happening out here. They want ICE out of L.A., and they're making no mistake.
They reported, the officers did, taking bottles and bricks and rocks being thrown at them by a group. And I don't like calling them protesters. The LAPD calls them agitators. They also call them outside agitators, implying they were not part of the peaceful protest. They reported taking bottles and bricks and rocks from these agitators. That caused them to issue the dispersal order, and things deteriorated from there. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I've read those reports. I've also read reports and seen footage by Associated Press and NBC, both directly contradicting those reports, claiming that they were entirely unprovoked. Now, obviously, I'm part of a nonviolent movement. We have entirely peaceful protests. If there were any sort of violence by outside agitators, that's not something that we support. But the violence that I saw, the violence that Associated Press saw, and the violence that NBC saw were exclusively against civilians by law enforcement. And let me be very specific here. I have spoken to someone who was shot 3 times in the face with rubber bullets. Rubber bullets are meant to be, according to police protocol, shot off the ground and ricocheted and then potentially hitting someone, but more scaring them than anything else. Shooting them directly at someone is a violation of how those are supposed to be used, and that is directly violent in a way that cannot be defended. And that is my fundamental issue there. Frankly, just taking the worst possible situation, someone throwing a water bottle at you versus someone firing rubber bullets at high impact velocity speeds directly at your face, which could cause terminal brain injuries or even kill you, those things are not at all equivalent, and I think it's a disservice to the people of Los Angeles to present it that way. But, of course, obviously I heard you guys were talking about fireworks and stuff, and I understand in that case we obviously want to be careful when people are playing with literal fire after what happened in California over these past couple months.
And good evening. We have that 6 breaking news alert. I'm Lisa Balick. Tens of thousands of Oregonians today out in force, joining the worldwide demonstrations against President Donald Trump and his policies. And outside at this hour, the Immigration and Customs Enforcement headquarters in South Portland. Federal agents and protesters are in conflict at this hour. CS gas has been deployed. Our Ariel Salk is live there with the latest.
So there's still hundreds of people out here. ICE continues to throw those canisters of tear gas into the crowd. I'm going to step aside so you can get a closer look. We are going to try to give you a nice look at what's going on here. But there is a lot of profanity on site, so we're doing our very best to avoid that. Oop, as you can hear, that was some kind of flash or bang. Not sure where that came from, but it hasn't deterred the crowd at all. Earlier, when there was tear gas, the crowd would run and then go back, but now everybody's pretty settled in. They've got their masks. People are passing out waters and snacks and masks. Like I was mentioning earlier, the doors of the ICE building appear to be open or broken. We're trying to get a better, closer look of that as well. A bunch of people are running. We're not sure exactly what is going on. We're going to try to avoid from being hit. We're not quite sure what is happening. We are seeing tear. They broke the door in, apparently. That's what I'm being told. We're seeing a lot of tear gas. People are running away. I'm so sorry for the profanity. We are trying to avoid that. But the tear gas is coming, blowing down the street that we're on. People have stopped running. They're kind of going back, but there is a lot of activity at this very moment.
Hey, Ariel,
got a little bit of
this is
stage as well to kind of even it out.
Ariel, this is Lisa in the studio. Are you guys going to move back a little bit, just in case, in other words, you guys don't have masks on right now, just to get out of that? But like you said, the door has been breached and ice,
we can move
which
a little
clearly
bit further back.
All across the country, thousands of people protested the Trump administration in a massive movement. It's expected this will be the largest single-day mobilization since President Trump returned to office in January, with people in all 50 states participating in some sort of No King rally. While the vast majority of protests were peaceful, some turned chaotic, including here in Portland. This video shows the moment Portland police first declared a riot outside of the ICE facility at around 6:30 last night after a federal officer was injured by the crowd. The federal officer did not require medical treatment. Police ordered people to leave the area of South Moody and Bancroft or face arrest. Some agents fired tear gas into the crowd, warning physical force could be next if protesters continue to be violent. Police arrested one person for an attempted assault of an officer. Police say they saw some criminal behavior throughout the night. They made 2 more arrests. One was after police saw someone throw a rock at the building. Officers reported being pepper sprayed while making that arrest. At 1 this morning, police arrested a 3rd person on Southwest McAdam Boulevard, who they say was picking up traffic control devices and putting them in his truck. Portland police say all 3 arrests were strictly focused on criminal actions and not constitutionally protected free speech.
A peaceful protest of an estimated 10,000 people in Salt Lake City turned to chaos tonight. That is the breaking news we're following. I'm Jordan Tracy. Salt Lake City police reporting a shooting near 200 South State Street, possibly associated with tonight's No Kings protest that was taking place across the country and across the Beehive State. Let's take a look now at that scene that we saw earlier today of that protest as demonstrators took to the streets protesting the No Kings protest that we saw across the country. This is the moment our photographer realized something had happened, and people leaving that protest, running out of the streets as police started to respond to that parking garage there. You see that is on State Street and at 200 South. We're being told a person of interest is in custody, according to police, and one person critically injured, taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. As we continue to learn more this evening, we do have a reporter live on the scene. We're going to go to them now. Alyssa Royster from ABC4 News is there at the scene with what she can tell us at this time. Alyssa, what do you have?
Jordan, that's right. I'm here downtown where, yes, someone was shot during the No Kings protest. That person now in the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Now, the anti-ICE protests, which they're being held nationwide, are meant to oppose what demonstrators see as power grabs, if you will, by President Trump. So the one here started at 6 p.m. at Pioneer Park. Police estimated that 10,000 people were marching through the streets, which was evident as it was hard to even get here with everywhere you looked, people walking with their flags and signs. So at first things started out peaceful, but then around 8 we started seeing people running on camera. Police then posted on X a few minutes later saying they were investigating a shooting possibly associated with the demonstration near 200 South State Street. That shooting turned out to be true. Again, that person now in the hospital critically injured. Now, this protest comes just after the one we had just a few days ago downtown. But with that one, other than a few small fights that police had to break up, an arrest, and a car being damaged, law enforcement actually thanked protesters for keeping it peaceful. Obviously, this was a different story tonight. Now, there is going to be a press conference happening coming up here soon, which I'll be here for, so I'll keep you updated. In the meantime, Jordan, back to you.
No, I didn't. You're on TV, and now you're pushing me on live television. All right, we didn't touch anybody. You know that's true. Okay. Thank you. I got it. So you can see, obviously, tensions are extremely high here.
Yes, because you touched the officer. Don't touch the officer.
We have video testimony. Nobody touched an officer. Okay. Obviously, massively high tensions here. These folks are tired. They are also hot. It's a long day, and it's been a long week.
Let you know.
We clearly didn't touch the officers.
Yes, you did.
You're on live television, sir.
Yes, you did.
We were live on the air.
Thank you so much. We will stay back. We appreciate what you're doing here. Tensions are high. That was a moment that we haven't experienced very often here. I think that there has been respect between the media and law enforcement here. We have kept our distance.